Hello, and welcome back to Spooky Marie Plays Pokemon Showdown. On today's episode, I'm going to go through and showcase 4 or 5 different games that I played over the last month and give commentary. So, yeah, hopefully you enjoy. So, it kind of sucks that I can't give you like the bird's eye view and show you like what I was thinking at the time because I don't have access to obviously the whole picture. Like I can't see the team because when you download it, it basically gives you the spectator's view. So I missed there because Flapple has Hustle, so it's boosted attack, but that also means that moves that would normally not miss are reduced by 20. So yeah, so Outrage missed, which is pretty bad. Orthworm's pretty good. It can Terra type into Electric sometimes, I think, and also I've seen it Terra type to Ground. Appleton, on the other hand, is not really a big threat, but it's so bulky though, and it hits really hard. Like it's slow, but what it lacks in speed, it makes up for in power, like most Slowmons. So there, I switched to my Fairy type, and then I double switch, expecting them also to switch, but I expected them to switch into something that was not a Ground type. So this is pretty bad for me. So I switched immediately to Giratina, and usually this means Will-O-Wisp threat. Like that's usually the set with this type of Giratina. So he switches to Appleton, which is actually a really good switch, but instead I go for Calm Mind because I'm a Calm Mind set, which probably means it's the rest set he's probably thinking. It also means that he gets pretty unlucky there because he was probably going for Draco Meteor, which would have put me down to about 30% health. So he goes Steel because he really wants that Draco Meteor, and he wants that extra turn. But he goes for Leech Seed instead, which I think is really, I don't really know what he was thinking there. Unfortunately for him, it missed, obviously. And then I get the crit, so pretty lucky. I'm actually like RNG Jesus this game if you're watching. So yeah, that goes pretty well. Also, just like take a look at my team. Like my team is like stacked, bro. So he misses again with Draco Meteor, and then I get another critical hit. So at this point, like, why am I even playing Pokemon? Like I should just go play the lottery. So I say oof, lol, and I make it to the 1500s bracket. All right, next game. And we're up at the 1800s bracket now if you're following me live. Calyrex is so good because it threatens Psychic type moves against Toxapex. And I don't care if I'm toxic. Like, what are you going to do? You're going to Baleful Bunker? That's free Sword Dance if you do that. So he assumed that I was going to go for Sword Dance, but he was also faster, which means that he doesn't really understand the speed of this game. Or maybe he plays a lot of like OU where like generally Calyrex would be faster, but because it's level 73, it's kind of like squashed down. Like the stats get like, I like to call it EQ'd, like a music term, like equalized. That's what it stands for. So like they turn certain stats down or up based on the level, and they also lose EV points. I think that's right. So Clough's putting in work. I love Clough. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but like it's just this like giant goofy crab. Like look at its eyes. I'm not actually sure what Bitter Malice is. I think that's the one that may restore health. And then I realize that it's Zoark. So I say, LOL, it's Zoark. And he says, laugh my ass off, yeah. I say, how fast is it, LOL? So it goes Pyroar, which is kind of like a neutral good switch for him because it is pretty bulky, especially if it's like an Assault Vest. And it goes for Workup, which like, uh-oh. I'm not really sure why that he did that, but yeah, and then I just get killed here. So basically I have Ice Beam threat and not much else. I'm trying to force Terra here. He doesn't go for Terra, which I don't really think was that smart. But I also had realized it's Zoark. Like, surprise. And actually, it's not that I had realized, it's that it's very strange because why was Zoark, and this is why I saved this game. Like, I'm going to pause here. I'm actually going to go back a turn. So, why is Zoark, they may have changed the mechanics here. Last time, Zoark was Chestnut, right? And Chestnut, as far as I can tell, is still up. So why then was it Zoark this time? And we were both confused about this. Like I was like, wait a minute. And you see, I say what? And he says, damn. I say, you again. He says, that freeze, oof. And I say, wait a minute. how is it Chestnut? How is it not Chestnut? And he says, I think when I switched to Chestnut, it like changed the party order or something. So that's wacky. He said, to be honest, I expected it to be Chestnut. So that's really bizarre. Yeah, no idea what the mechanic is there. I know they changed some mechanics in Gen 9 with like Ditto and stuff where like it will remember what it was when it comes back in and stuff like that. And then I was confused there. So if you see me talking, I'm asking about like, wait a minute, how did that hit? And he says, and we both didn't know it at Scrappy. Like we just like both don't know this Pokemon yet. So it was pretty funny because like we both were like, wait a minute, what? He was being a very good sport. So I'm glad to showcase this game. Shoutouts to PokeChamp AT. And unfortunately, Chestnut is bulletproof, so I think Moonblast probably won't work against it. Fortunately, I'm like X4 defensive against that. I think it's X4. So if it goes Steel, it goes for Iron defense, which is pretty good. I go for Moonblast, so okay, Moonblast does hit. That answers my question. And dang, that was a crit too. Unfortunately, I go Ground type, and then that means I get Earth Power. Super effective stab. That 3% is basically game, because like if that had killed me, like I think I probably would have lost. Yeah, so I got pretty lucky in this game. But yeah, I just wanted to showcase like the weird mechanic there with Zoroark. Not really sure what was going on with that. We'll have to recheck that like in OU later, like do some more testing. He says, bro, why does it say Giratina is alive? And then I say it's glitched. And so we really may have been glitched, like, because the game's over and you can see that it's still alive. And we're both talking about it, so it's pretty weird. So yeah, maybe someone can fill me in. This is a Gen 6 battle. And this is from also this year, but yeah, it's Gen 6. So I missed right off the bat. He says, good luck, have fun. I say, baka, which means fool in Japanese. I say, now I have all the luck. He says, look who's talking. I say, fool. He says, no offense, I love the trash talk. I say, me too. I say, Mewtwo must be drunk. He says, well, Mewtwo is 27 years old. This may actually have been a tournament. Solrock's pretty good. I say, baka. Baka. Bah, I say. Little face, you can't really see it. Here, I'll zoom it out. So Staraptor does not get guts. Sometimes I like think it does for some reason. That wasn't why I made the switch, but sometimes I just like forget that Staraptor is not a Gutsmon because it's just like it just seems like it should be, you know. I like how even though that crit that didn't kill me, and that's like a huge swing there too, because like if that had killed me, then that's like a full Diggersby that I have to face, which would have been like okay, but it probably would have meant that like well, we can't force the Terra because there is no Terra. But yeah, we would have forced to switch out with Mewtwo and Ice Beam. I wonder if I zoom out one more time if that'd be better. But like you can still see what it says because it says like used close combat, so it's not like you can't see it. It says like right here. Can you see this mouse? I'm actually not sure if my viewers can see the mouse. It'd probably be pretty annoying if you can. Right, so I'm talking mad shit this whole time. And he goes, Xerneas. I go, bro. Love my ass off. Well played, GG. And yeah, Gen 6 randoms was just kind of like this. Like, you just get counter swept. Like, there's nothing you can do. Like that's a full power Sludge Wave and it's doing 40%. Like, it's an immediate win if you have Xerneas. Like, I've seriously never lost or seen lost. It's kind of like Sticky Webs in random. Like, Sticky Webs is very OP. Speaking of OP, like, I hope they remove, what's it called? The Moody Clause. I hope they reinstate the Moody Clause and ban Skolovian or Skolovillain, however you pronounce that stupid new one with the two heads. I love its design. I love the fact that it gets moody. I hate it in randoms. I mean, he says GG. I say well played. Laugh my ass off. All right, we'll do two more. Oh wait, gotta flip it. So again, this is randoms. Like, these aren't teams that we built. This is also Gen 6. So this may have been the same tournament before I lost. So he knocks off my citrus berry, which is actually really bad because it means I can't eat it. However, there is like at least a little bit of an upswing to that. And that's that I get unburdened. So I'm faster now. Fast as fuck, boy. You don't even know how fast I really am. Unless you know I have unburdened, then you do. So Bronzong's annoying because it's levitate, so I switched to my fire type. I don't care if I get poisoned. Like, what's that matter to me? Boom, V-create. I'm not really sure why he didn't switch there. Like, of course, I don't know his team, and like, it seems like a really bad sack. Crunch seems like a good call there. It's been a while since I've seen like Mightyena. Because I don't play a lot of like Gen 6 anymore, and even when you do play Gen 6, like, who the fuck runs Mightyena? That's the, that burn right there is the burn coming in clutch. Because otherwise, Mightyena is definitely faster. At least I think so. I'm not actually sure what its base stats are, but it's generally faster. So it was a leftovers set, so that's why there's a protect on there. It may even be a toxic stall stat, but I was just trying to burn it for 8%. That's why I use protect. Like, there's no reason not to. I like how it's like not loading the graphics. It's pretty funny. Yeah, it's just like not loading graphic assets. It's just loading like little boxes. I don't actually know what healer does. I think that's like a move. I think that healer is for like duo mons, and I think it like heals your mons or something like that, like of their statuses. I'm just guessing though. Yeah, I'm not really sure what it does. So Venomoth just gets absolutely killed, and that's basically a game. Like, once Gardevoir sets up even once, like, that's basically a game. Light of Ruin's a fun, like, special little move, but it's not, you know, I'm also a fairy type, so it's only neutral effective. I'm also a psychic type? Yeah, psychic type. So he just straight up misses Fire Blast, and that's basically a game, yeah. Fun little game. Alright, and this one is the last one of the day, and this is a Gen 9 battle, also random battles. So he leads Skeledirge. Like, he doesn't really lead so much, it's just like Skeledirge there. And I basically read a switch because I just looked at it and I was like, he's going to switch. So this was the stupidest thing he could have done. He went for water compaction, which like it raises your defense by 2 stages or 1 stage. I'm not really sure which. But yeah, you can see I'm now max defense, which realistically won't help because Skeledirge I think is faster and it'll just counter sweep me. So I asked if you, so there's a lot of chatter here. I said, read? And I said, what do you mean? I was like, well, it's fighting versus Shadow, ground versus water debuff. Like, I would have expected Shadow Ball from the fire guy. He says he doesn't have it. It would only be sacrificing it. I was like, so you sacrificed your water type instead? He said, I honestly prefer that this gen, apart from what I see there. And I was like, okay. Basically, I was just like being kind of polite and edgy, and I was like, why the fuck did he switch, dude? Like, that was stupid as shit. But I was being polite. And yeah, like, it just cost him the game. Like, why would you ever sack Urshifu to Palisand? Like, I guess he was switching in the fighting type, but it just seems like a really stupid switch. So I get, like, Oranguru paralyzed, which is, like, not a big deal at all. Spirit Break's, like, it's a good move, but it's not a great move. Because, like, yeah, it's, like, it depends on the mon you're against, obviously. Like, basically, Grimmsnarl is designed to allow setup, and like I'm just letting him set up because like he doesn't have any setup mons. Like the only setup mon he has is Skeledirge, and he's just like refusing to use it, which I think is like honestly the wrong play. Like right here, like Hex would do more damage because well it'd be immune to Hex, but okay, never mind. Yeah, I'd be immune to Hex because I'm normal type. I always forget that I'm not just mono psychic. Or sometimes I think that he's a grass type because he's like holding grass. Sudowoodo is funny, like its name, like Sudowoodo. But it's like a rock type, not a wood type. Oof, that's a big miss. Like, that's actually like a very big miss. If that had been paralyzed, that would have been, like, really bad. It's like my 6th or 7th miss in this game. That's why I saved this game. I'm literally just a rage typing lol. Yeah. So I say, he said, mate, this is insane. I was like, we had 7 misses now. So this is like the anti-game for me. Spirit Break was the right play there. I was hoping he would go for a Paralyze, because that would give me at least a chance to get some chip or damage. And obviously, like, Cacturn missing is, like, not a surprise. And now I lose. Like, there's no way I can win. Let's see if it misses again. Oh, you get sucker punched. He says, save this replay. I did. Yeah, it was pretty bad. So there's a lot of chatter again. He says, I am. He says, GG, mate. Sorry. I was like, for YouTube. Well played. He's like, what should I look for? I'll check it out. And then I tell him, new vids, all this stuff. I was like, I'm always salty. I rage and I say, K, lol, LFR, roll for laughing. All right, guys. Thanks for joining. We'll be back probably again like tomorrow, the next day, or like maybe Monday or something.